I bought a house without using a realtor. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly how the process worked, what paperwork I had to handle myself, and what surprised me most. I honestly thought buying a house without an agent was something only investors or real estate experts knew how to do. I assumed there were hidden rules, insider knowledge, and a million ways to accidentally mess everything up. But once I actually stepped into the process, I realized a huge part of buying a house is really just managing deadlines, communication, and making sure every step is handled correctly. That doesn't mean it's easy, and it definitely doesn't mean people can't make expensive mistakes. But the entire time I kept thinking, wait, normal people actually do this. Stay until the end because there were a few parts in the process that genuinely caught me off guard. And if I handled them wrong, the entire deal could have fallen apart. So in this video, I want to walk through exactly how I bought a house without a realtor, what the lender and title company actually did, what the inspection and appraisal process looked like, and what I learned through the entire process. Step number 1, get pre-approved. The very first thing I did was get pre-approved through a local bank. Honestly, this ended up being one of the most important parts of the entire process. I literally went into my local bank I already do business with, and I worked with the local mortgage officer there. People online spend so much time talking about the realtor side of buying a house, but for me, the lender mattered more than I expected. My mortgage officer helped explain timeline, appraisal, inspection, closing costs, requirements, paperwork, title company stuff, and basically what I needed to know that would happen next. And if you're thinking about buying without an agent, I highly recommend working with a good local lender. Not because they magically make bad deals good, but because they actually answer the phone and help walk you through the process. That mattered to me. I think one of the things that surprised me is how much buying a house is really just managing the process. It's deadlines, documents, communication, sending paperwork, writing approvals, solving problems as they come up. It's honestly less mysterious than I expected. Still stressful, but less mysterious. When you have a good local mortgage officer on your side, it is so much better. Step number 2, finding a seller willing to work with you directly. After getting pre-approved, I started looking for houses and found a property. Now, the big question was whether the seller would even be willing to work directly without agents involved. Because some sellers absolutely want agents involved, and honestly, that makes sense. But in this situation, the seller knew me and was open to handling everything directly. So we started communicating ourselves, and honestly, that part was simpler than I expected. There was no middleman, no waiting days for messages to get passed around, no confusion about any of that. We talked directly about the house, the condition, the price, the timeline, whether the deal made sense for both of us. And at that point, the process started feeling less intimidating and more like a normal business transaction between two people trying to make a deal happen. I think before buying a house, I imagined the process as a giant, complicated machine that only professionals understood. But once you're actually in it, you realize it's mostly regular people trying to solve problems and move things forward. Step number 3, the purchase agreement. Once we agreed on the price, it was time to put everything into an actual contract. And honestly, this was one of the moments where the whole thing suddenly felt real. Because now you're not just casually talking about buying a house anymore. Now there's deadlines, legal documents, contingencies, inspections, financing terms, earnest money, and signatures everywhere. Earnest money is basically a deposit showing the seller you're serious about buying the property. We used a Missouri residential real estate purchase agreement and carefully worked through the terms together. Now, obviously, I'm not telling people to blindly download random contracts off the internet and hope for the best. But again, this is where having a good lender mattered a lot. My lender actually sent a PDF purchase agreement that works for them. The seller also provided disclosure papers about known issues with the property, which is another important part of the process. After filling everything out, I sent the agreement over to my lender so they could review it. And they helped explain the needed adjustments, the timelines, what the contingencies were, and what the next steps were. That guidance made a huge difference because when you're buying without an agent, you need to actually slow down and read things carefully. And honestly, that's probably not a bad thing. Step number 4, title company and lender. Once the contract was signed, the lender and title company basically took over the process. And honestly, this was another thing I didn't fully understand. Before buying a house, the lender is the bank or mortgage company giving you the loan for the house. They're the ones checking your income, reviewing your finances, ordering the appraisal, and approving the loan, and making sure everything meets the requirements before closing. And then there's the title company. The title company handles a huge amount of the paperwork and the legal side of the transaction. They make sure the seller actually owns the property, they check for liens or legal issues, they help handle the money transfers and prepare documents, and officially record the sale once everything closes. It went from maybe I'll buy this house to oh wow, this is actually happening. And honestly, this was probably the most stressful part for me. Not because anything was necessarily going wrong, but because there was just a lot of moving parts. And when it's your first time doing it, every email feels important, every phone call sounds serious, every document feels like something you could accidentally mess up. But eventually you realize the process keeps moving one step at a time. Step 5, inspection and appraisal. Then came inspection, and honestly, this was one of the parts I was most nervous about. The inspection is basically where you hire a professional to walk through the house and look for major problems or safety issues. They check things like roof, electrical, plumbing, foundation, HVAC, water damage, and just the overall condition of the property. Especially with older homes, inspections are important because they uncover issues that would never be noticed through a normal walkthrough. And honestly, the inspection ended up making me feel better because instead of guessing what might be wrong with the house, I could actually see what needed attention and what didn't. Then came the appraisal. The appraisal is different from the inspection. The inspection is for you as the buyer. The appraisal is for the bank. Basically, the lender sends someone out to determine whether the house is worth what you agreed to pay for it. And if the appraisal comes back too low, it can completely change the deal and make the bank not want to lend you the full amount. Luckily, mine appraised fine, so we were able to keep moving forward without any issues. But I definitely understand why now buyers get nervous waiting for appraisals to come back. Step 6, closing day. Before closing, we also did a final walkthrough just to make sure the condition of the property was still what we expected. And after all that, we closed. And honestly, closing felt almost anticlimactic compared to how intimidating buying a house seemed beforehand. You just sit at a table, sign a giant stack of papers, wire money, shake hands, and suddenly you own a house, which is both exciting and mildly terrifying at the same time. And honestly, I think it's true for most worthwhile things in life. From the outside, they feel overwhelming, but once you actually step into them, you realize it's just regular people trying to figure things out one step at a time. Now again, I'm not saying everyone should skip using a realtor. There is definitely situations where having a great agent is valuable, especially in competitive markets, difficult negotiations, complicated projects, or maybe inexperienced buyers who need more guidance. But what surprised me most was realizing how much of the process came down to just asking the right questions, reading documents, and carefully understanding deadlines, and surrounding yourself with good people. For me, that was a good lender, a good title company, and a seller willing to work directly. Honestly, the whole experience made buying a house feel less like an impossible adult milestone, and more like something normal people can actually figure out. If you've enjoyed this video, make sure to like and subscribe. On this channel, I document the real process of buying, maintaining, renovating, and learning real estate while working a normal full-time job. I share real numbers, the projects, mistakes, wins, and everything I'm learning along the way. No fake gurus, no overnight success, just real projects and real lessons learned. Thanks for watching.